Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I hit 1200 elo rapid, and this is so crazy, and it's such a wonderful milestone for me because I hit 1100 elo on April 10th, and hence yesterday was April 17th, so I gained over 100 elo in 1 week, which is crazy. So today I'm gonna be analyzing the two games that led me to hit 1200 elo, starting with this one. Before playing this game, as you can see, as 1191, but I gained 8 elo from that. So the next game is actually the game that I hit 1200 elo. But let's first analyze this one because this one was also a very awful game for my opponent, because I played principled, but my opponent was trying to attack before. My opponent was attacking too early before he even castled and did, all the stuff. So, wonderful game. Everything started perfectly. I played the Scandinavian, but my opponent tried doing, an opening trap, bringing out the knight instead of protecting the pawn. And I actually did fall for it because here, instead of playing knight to f6, I just attacked the knight, which obviously I wouldn't have fell for if I took more time to think, like at least 5 seconds to think. But yeah, nothing bad. So I just continue, and it might look bad that I lost that pawn, but it's actually not that bad because after castling, my rook is gonna have an open file. It's not bad actually. So after trading off the queens, it might look bad. Most of it might be, oh, that position is lost because I have two doubled pawns. It might look bad, but it's actually really good for me because first of all, I have the bishop pair advantage. And after I just like trade off one of these bishops using the pawns, then I can undouble my pawns. So this is just me activating all my pieces. See, I offered a trade so that I could undouble my pawns, and I just kept offering him a trade. As you can see, my opponent just gave me that pawn for literally no reason. I mean, his reasoning was probably he wanted an open file, but that just doesn't work. Because I just take it, then I drop back. And he helped me undouble the pawns. And in this position, my opponent traded off the rooks and blundered. My opponent, someone rated 1180, blundered a backrank, and I was 1199. Here I started sweating. I was like, oh my god, I might hit 1200 today. Let's go to the game where I actually hit 1200. So this is the game right here where I hit 1200 elo. And in this game, what you'll notice, I was playing with white. And you all remember what I told you in the other video. With white, it's so hard to lose if you know uh, either the Italian opening, the fried liver attack, or the Rui Lopez. I was playing someone way higher rated than me. Remember, I was 1199 and he was like 1216 or something like that. So he was way more high rated than me, and I wanted something solid. I knew if I played into the London system, the Italian system, or the fried liver attack, he's probably gonna be better than me because he's way more high rated than me. So let me play something that's less common but also fits the list of the openings that you should play with e4. So I played the Roy Lopez opening. The Roy Lopez. I don't know how most people pronounce it, but I personally pronounce it Roy. Ruy. Roy Lopez. So my opponent let me play into the Roy Lopez opening, and I happily did. Remember, I cannot take this pawn on e5, this black pawn, because if I take it to the knight, then he just brings in his queen to d4, and that's really annoying. He's gonna win my pawn with the check. So I first bring out my knight, and then I castle, take the... Here he probably... Why would anyone trade out a bishop for a knight for literally no reason? Maybe he was scared of me attacking that pawn, but I don't know. He traded out his bishop. He probably thought I'll take the pawn and damage my pawn structure, but I just took it with the queen and I was okay. I develop my bishop. Remember here, I realize my queen and my bishop are both attacking that knight. So I'm gonna damage his pawn structure. I'm gonna take it with the bishop. Then he has to take back with the queen. Then I take back. Then I trade off the queens, and his pawn structure is ruined. Or he can just not trade the queens and damage his pawn structure immediately. So I did that, and he chose the second option. And there, I saw weaknesses in his position, so I started attacking them. See, he removed his queen, which was the defender of that pawn right there, so I immediately took it. Now his rook is hanging. The best move here is probably... Wait, let me see. Oh yeah, I was gonna say castles, but the queen is preventing him from castles. The best move is actually to bring your rook to g8. I'm not using stockfish. That's just my personal opinion. I think that's the best move. Just lose that pawn, because bringing your rook to h7 is actually a very ugly square. But no biggie. My opponent blunders. This might look like a normal move to most of you, but it's actually not, because that that king that king, when it was there, first of all, it was protecting that pawn, and after it moves, it again, castling is a bad move, because now I can throw in this check and win the rook. There's nothing he can do. So I won the rook. Then my opponent started pushing the pawns. By the way, guys, take this as a lesson. Never push the pawns in front of your king unless there is a way that maybe you're gonna trap a piece, or you're gonna get a checkmate soon or something. It's never actually worth it to push the pawns in front of your king. It's actually never worth it. My opponent was trying to push his pawn so that he can double up my pawn structure, but little did he know that's not actually a big problem, because he's gonna open up my a file for my rook. So I just allowed it. I started eating pawns, as you can see. He did in fact ruin my pawn structure after this trade, but it's not a big problem, because here there is a forced mate. There is a forced checkmate, which is queen checks, and he only has one move, which is to defend with the rook. That's the only move he would have. But then I'll just throw in the check from the other side. I'll just throw in a rook check and win his rook, or lead to a series of trade. But my opponent blundered, and after this check, he only has one move once again, which is to block with a rook. But he decided to move the king, and he lost the game immediately. So that is how I reached 1200 elo. Remember what I've said, guys. If you want to reach 1200 elo, just learn openings. Pick a side. You can pick e4 or d4 and just start learning openings from there. The reason I like e4 more than d4, first of all, I just think it's way better. It's way easier. E4 openings are just way easier. And E4 openings are just way better than D4 openings. Like, just learn the Italian opening, or the Rui Lopez, or the... By the way, if you're learning the Italian opening or the fried liver attack, I've already made videos about those openings, so you can catch them on this channel. But yeah, that's how I hit 1200 elo in just 1 week. Imagine hitting 1100 elo, then 1200 elo in just 1 week. That's crazy. So yeah, that's just the Rui Lopez. That's the Rui Lopez opening that I used to hit 1200 elo. Next goal is 1300 elo. I'm already a good way there, because I'm currently rated 1235 elo. So yeah, I'm growing really fast. So maybe I'll hit like 1300 elo. If things go well, then maybe next week. But thank you all for watching. Please subscribe. Also, I do go live on Twitch, so if you can go follow me there on Twitch, that would be really helpful. Yeah, thank you for watching. Peace.